Back again. This is a little chapter on Mara, where my mother was born, and her mother lived there with the John Cadden, my grandfather, who never showed up after. He was a railroad guy, a drunk, and I don't know. I told you the story about my mom threatening him to kill him. He used to beat up her mother and all that stuff. But anyway, I remember down in Mara, we used to go down there on Sunday sometime to visit. There were all the Zettergreens lived down there. They were relatives of ours. Mom used to tell me that she used to climb up the mountain when she was a little kid and pick flowers up at a little meadow up there. She liked these little bluebells. And they had a house on by Mud Lake, which was a little lake at the end of Mara Lake. She had two different houses down there. One was a brick house that I actually went and seen once, and the other one, I don't know where. I think I seen it once, but she's buried there, my mother, with her brother, Eddie, who got shot in the stomach by his shotgun when he fell on it. And so a lot of my relatives are buried in Mara at the little cemetery. But the second house there, one of my cousins painted a picture of that house, which I have somewhere. But they had a bridge over the I guess it's the Shuswap River that goes down through from Maple Lake, comes down into Mara Lake. They used to jump off the bridge down there like we used to in Sycamoose. There's an old dance hall down there in Mara that used to have parties at. That's where I saw the Reimer sisters singing that Christmas time, who I was so impressed with. They sang such beautiful harmony, but there was, we used to go down to Auntie Ada's place. I forget what her husband's name was, but we used to go down for dinner, and there was an old guy. I guess he was some relative of hers. I don't know if he was her brother, but Corky, they called him, Corky Zettergreen. He was always drinking, that guy. His nose was all red. I remember a good name for him, Corky, because he was always drunk. And anyway, we also used to go to the there was the other Zettergreens down there that we used to go. What was their name? Marie was the girl. Her brother got killed by a car on the road. I'll have to ask my sister their names, darn it. Anyway, they used to have, the Zettergreens were really good at hockey. They used to have hockey games down there in an outdoor rink. My mom's old school was down there, but I think it's torn down now. But beside it was an outdoor hockey rink. I remember them watching the Zettergreens and all the people from Mara playing hockey. There was a lot of good hockey players. But Les and Amy were Marie's parents, and we used to go for dinner down there once. But I remember hearing the story about their kids that they raised a cow from being a little calf, and I guess the kids liked it so much. When he butchered the cow, they wouldn't eat the meat because that was like their pet, Daisy or whatever they called it. I don't blame them, I guess. And there used to be a place in Grinrod too, which is down past Mara. We used to go to ball games down there. They had really good ball games. I was actually on a ball team in Sycamoose, and I got hit in the ear with a ball running between second and third, and my ear's still screwed up from that. There's a loud noise by my ear. It goes. We didn't wear the helmets then, I guess, and I was always fielder. I wasn't that great at ball, but. Yeah, so anyway, I told you about the Armstrong Fair. We used to go down there. It was quite a good fair. They had a midway and a lot of livestock, and I always already told you about us getting in the car accident, us guys later. So anyway, but Mara, I remember hiking up out of behind, sort of from Mara, behind Enderby. There's a big cliff there, and there's a lake back in the top there called Reeves Lake, and I remember hiking up there. You hike up through a sort of a crevice in the front of the cliff. It's a real hard hike. I remember we hiked way up there to the top of the cliff, and then went in behind. There's a lake in there, in Reeves Lake, and there's all mud around it and lily pads, and I think we got terribly dirty and didn't catch any fish either. But that's another thing we did down there. So anyway, I'll get back to you on some more stuff in a minute.